Hello, my name is I Soo Joe. I'm teaching finance at School of Management and Economics of Handong Global University. Before I joined Handong Global University, I worked for financial institutions for about 30 years. I worked for life insurance companies for a long time, and then I joined a commercial bank, and then I worked for securities companies. And now, even though I'm teaching at this university, I work as a board member of a property and casualty company. So my experience is with financial industry. When I was working for life insurance company, I studied at actuarial science, and I became a member of Korean Actuarial Society. Okay. COVID-19 is still going on. If you see the statistics, I got the statistics. Probably this is a number based on WHO. Globally, as of June 4, 2020, number of confirmed people is over 6 million. And total death was around 382,000, roughly 383,000. So it's a huge number. If you see the trend, we can see still it's going up a little bit, upward slope. So even though the trend is more stabilized in this period compared with February, March, we see that the number of daily confirmed is still rising. So we can say that COVID-19 is still going on. If you see the Americas, probably Americas include North and South America. The number of confirmed is 3 million. And if you see the trend, that this is still rising trend. But if you see the statistics of the United States, the daily confirmed is showing the declining trend. So it means the other countries except US, probably in countries in South America, shows the rising trend. So the situation is different from country to country. In Europe, in March, there was a rising trend, very sharp rising trend, but these days it shows a declining trend. So in Europe, I think the peak is past. So the worst is gone, but still the daily new confirmed are many. If you see Mediterranean area, Eastern Mediterranean, the trend is rising. but the total number is not so many, not so high. Southeast Asia, the number is increasing. It shows an increasing trend. Western Pacific, the number is not big, but it shows declining trend up to this point. But still, there was some number in this period, and now it's almost flat. Africa, even the total number is small, but the trend is rising. Speed is fast, so we are really concerned about African countries because the environment is not so good. The medical facilities are not well equipped in those countries, so we are really concerned about the African countries. This is the Korean statistics. We had a big increase in February and March, but the number of new confirmed declined in April. So by the end of April, we thought it's almost overcome. But recently, the number of new confirmed has risen a little bit. This happened among young people. It spread in the clubs, nightclubs. So young people don't care about COVID. They enjoy their time. When people ask, don't you think about the COVID-19? They said, no, we don't care. Even if we got infected, we'll overcome. They are confident about their health. But usually, young people overcome. Fortunately, the death rate in Korea is very low. But the main concern, will COVID-19 have a permanent or long-lasting impact on our daily lives? Maybe in some areas, but not in all areas. So people will be more aware of social distance and personal hygiene, personal cares, personal health cares. So traditionally, when people get together, they shake hands, sometimes they hug, but hugging these days is not recommended. So instead of shaking hands, we hit fist like this. So this kind of change may last for some time, but probably we'll go back to traditional lifestyle. In March, April, the cafes were almost empty. Nobody went there. People didn't go there. But nowadays, even though we have still daily new confirmed in tens, 20, 30, 40, but people go there. mood is changing very fast. So in many areas, people went back to traditional lifestyle. So COVID-19 will have some permanent or long-lasting impact in some areas, but not all areas. So let's see what will happen to insurance business. Will it have a long-lasting impact in insurance business? To discuss the details, let's group into 3 areas of insurance business. Insurance business can be divided into 3 different areas. First of all, marketing. Marketing including sales. Sales is very, very important in insurance business because it starts with sales. Like all service industry, sales is the beginning of the process. So sales, insurance companies use huge amount of money in sales, in marketing. For example, traditionally, if you buy a whole life insurance product, the agent receives 50% or 45% or 50% of the first year premium, first annual premium as a commission. And then for the remaining 10 years, every year the agent gets 5% of the premium. So usually it is called 150-9-5. So huge amount of money is put into sales activities in insurance business because it's really hard to sell insurance products. And then underwriting and maintenance, including investment. When sales is done, the application goes to underwriting department. Underwriting department examines the application and they decide whether this application will be approved or rejected. Because in insurance business, the client has a better knowledge about their bodies, their properties than insurance companies. So underwriting is trying to detect some fraud or misrepresentation. So in insurance business, the applicant, the client, should inform the insurance company of to insure their properties or their health situation. So this is underwriting process. When application arrives at the underwriting department, then they make decision, and then when it is approved, the renewal premium is collected, and then premium is invested. But these are the main operation by the insurance companies. When there is a claim, something happens, covered event happens, like a death or accident, then they file claims. Then insurance companies examine the claim application. Then they pay claims. Sometimes they reject, but usually the main reason of buying insurance product is to get claims. So most case claim is paid. But when there is fraud, companies defend their case. So insurance business will have some impact on those 3 areas: sales, marketing and sales, and maintenance, especially in investment and claim. Insurance product is sold, not bought. This is a saying in insurance industry. It means ordinary people do not go to insurance companies to buy insurance products. They usually are persuaded by insurance agents into buying insurance products. So usually people do not like to think about the bad things happening to them. Accidents, death, sickness. So people are not active in preparing for those cases. Usually they need somebody to talk to them about such cases. So personal persuasion is important in insurance sales. Insurance salesmen contact the person, the people, the clients, and then explain what is the accident rate, what is death rate, what will happen to the family members if you die or if you get accidents. Those things are the main role of insurance agents. So insurance agents are active in persuading clients. So sometimes they provide education on the needs of insurance. So they explain what happens if you die to the family members who are left. So if you are the only breadwinner in the family, what happens to the other family members when you die? People usually don't think about those cases, but if somebody else is kitchen, then they will think, oh, what happens? How much is needed? So insurance agents usually calculate, if you die, your family members need such and such money, such and such amount. Even if your spouse goes to work, she or he needs some period of time to be adjusted to the different situation. So that kind of persuasion is included in the sales process. And then on the other hand, what happens if you retire? If you retire, probably there is Social Security or corporate pension. But if you want to maintain your current lifestyle, you need such and such amount monthly. But compare the Social Security and corporate pension, if it is. If you have a corporate pension, then compare those amounts. If the Social Security and corporate pension is not enough to maintain the current lifestyle, then what's the shortage? How much do you have to prepare? Usually they calculate that amount, and then to prepare that amount, before you retire, then you have to save such and such amount. That is usually the role of insurance salesman. Then they provide insurance products. Okay, if you die prematurely, then your family needs such and such amount. So one of the best way to prepare that amount is buying whole life or term insurance. But if you survive to a certain point, you don't need that amount. You don't need that protection. Then you need another type of insurance. You will face another risk. Then for that risk, such and such product is very suitable for you. That is a persuasion process. Insurance sales is a very active persuasion. So that's why insurance is sold, not bought. So when I checked the statistics in Korea, the impact on sales was not great up to March 2020. But after that, I don't know. What was the impact in April, May, June? I don't have any statistics. But some people say that there will be some impact on insurance sales in April and May because it was not easy to meet clients face to face. So if they do not meet their clients face to face, probably their sales will decline. That is one concern of executives of insurance company. But fortunately, we have technology that will help. Even though we cannot meet face to face, but we can use technology to talk, seeing the face on the phone or on the computer. So technology will be more used to provide advice on personal risk management. So the key concept is personal risk management for personal insurance, like whole life, annuity, homeowners insurance, fire insurance. So the agents, usually agents know very well about the family situation of their clients. So when a young person gets married, then they recommend a certain product that is suitable for a young family. Usually, young family does not have a big amount of asset. But in that case, they usually provide a term insurance or whole life for protection. Premature death is the most important risk in their case. But when they have children, then the education for children is one concern. So they provide some protection for the children. Even if the breadwinner dies prematurely, then insurance product will provide some amount for the education of their children. That is, once those kind of insurance product was very, very popular in Korea, so-called education insurance product. So anyway, people will use more technology to provide advice on personal risk management. So there is some advantage in using this technology. They don't need more time. If you want to meet your client. If if an agent, insurance agent, wants to meet his client face to face, he has to go there. But if they use technology, he doesn't have to go there physically, but they can connect internet. So it's easier to provide the advice on the internet or online. Sometimes insurance companies use shopping channel to sell insurance products. So there are many different sales channels these days, but home shopping channels don't have any impact on COVID. Probably more people will use, but home shopping channel, I don't know whether this is really effective in persuading other people. But still, many companies use home shopping channels. And insurance sales through the internet. Internet is popular in automobile insurance because automobile insurance is mandatory. Once you have a car, you need automobile insurance to drive the car on the street. If you do not have automobile insurance, you are not allowed to drive on the street in Korea. So automobile insurance is mandatory. So every driver should have insurance. But if you buy that insurance through internet, it may be cheaper. So especially young people go to internet to buy automobile insurance. They search, they compare the automobile insurance premium, and then they buy cheaper product with almost same coverage. So they do active shopping in this area through internet. So there are some websites that compares the automobile insurance of many other companies. However, we believe that the major products will be sold through personal sales. Major product means the insurance product that have a significant amount of insurance premiums. Usually, whole life can be categorized into this area, and annuity can be categorized into this area. So if you pay several $100s for insurance premium, then you will be very careful, and you will compare products before you buy one product. So in this case, the relationship is important. Good insurance agents have long-term relations with their clients. So people say that I don't trust insurance agents, but I trust my agent. Excuse me. It means when insurance agents have a good relationship with the clients, then clients really trust on the insurance agents, because insurance agents should know their family situation correctly before providing good advice. So good insurance agents have a long-term and good relationship with their clients. The relationship may maybe 20 years or 30 years. So it's a very long-term relationship. So good insurance agents makes a really good amount of money. So professional insurance agents will maintain relationship for a long time. That's very natural. Compared with past alternative channels, we say that we are talking about alternative channels such as internet, outbound calls, and home shopping. These will take away even larger portion. So in the past, traditional way of selling insurance product is just a face-to-face consultation. But these days, we have a lot of different channels such as internet, call center, home shopping, advertisement. So this kind will take even larger portion in insurance sales. So what will happen to sales channel? Of course, face-to-face channel may have some impact, but other areas will grow fast. Then, will there be any change in insurance products? Maybe, yes. Traditionally, main concerns were premature death, longevity, and health, fire, accidents, and loss of income, etc. So, traditionally, we have whole life for premature death, longevity. We have annuity for living too long. That is a risk. If you outsurvive your income, that is a risk. If you live long, but if you do not have any income or any asset to live on, then it is a risk. But if you buy annuity provides income as long as you survive. That is one of the good risk management tool. Health, there is health insurance, fire insurance, accident insurance, loss of income, there is disability income product. For example, if you are a physician or if you are a surgeon, and if you lose your hands, then you may not perform surgical operation. In that case, insurance product will provide income. That is loss of income. But yeah, because of this COVID-19, there is a lot of unemployment. I don't know that is covered by unemployment insurance. But if there is business loss of income or business interruption, that kind of concern will appear. And people will be more aware of the health issues. So health insurance products area, there may be some change. And a lot of people died because of COVID-19. You know, in the States, more than 100,000 people died because of COVID-19. Think about the soldiers who were killed in war, like Korean War. US soldiers who died in Korean War were around 50,000. So 50,000 soldiers were killed in Korean War. Probably around the same amount, same number of U.S. soldiers died in Vietnamese War. But more than double of those number are killed, are died, are dead because of COVID-19. So the concerns about premature death will revive, maybe to some extent. I think it will happen. So new trends in insurance products is expected. And think about the business interruption coverage. Well, probably there will be more concern about the business interruption coverage. So even though it was a short-term period, like 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, if your business stops for 3 months, can it survive? Probably not. In my town, there was a children's hospital. It was always crowded with children because there are so many sickness, disease with children. So the hospital was always crowded. But recently I found it was closed. It couldn't survive 2-3 months because all of a sudden people were reluctant to go to hospital. So there was no patients. There were no patients in that hospital. So it couldn't survive just 2 months or 3 months. But in that case, if they had the business interruption insurance, probably they could survive. So, but the traditional coverage, in the traditional products, pandemic disease are usually excluded. But do we need the reconsideration? Probably some insurance companies will appear with that kind of insurance because there is some need. The small business in your neighbor, like a small restaurant, small bakery, they had no client for just 1 month or 2 months. In March and April, almost all cafes in Korea were empty. Almost all small restaurants were empty. So even hotels were almost empty. Very low reservation rate. So the business interruption coverage in this case is probably needed to survive. So I think some insurance companies, even though this is a risky business, like a pandemic disease of this kind can happen once in 10 years. So when there is no such case, claim will be zero. But if that happens, claim will soar. So this is a risk business. But if you spread the risk among the reinsurers, probably this kind of business can be popular because people will think about this risk. And internal operational insurance companies, insurance is long-term business, so stability is very important. But this kind of pandemic creates a volatility to the insurance industry because of one to sales, one to claims, another volatility probably in the area of investment. So many countries cut interest rates. Low interest rate gives huge pressure for insurance companies because this is a very, very important area, especially for life insurance, because the maturity of life insurance is very, very long. If if the company sells whole life, then the maturity of whole life can be 50 years, 60 years. So it's very long. Even the annuity, the maturity of annuity is very long. The policies, whether whole life or annuity, the policy ends when the insured person dies. So the liability of insurance products is long-term, but in Korea, there are not many long-term assets where the insurance companies can invest. So there is a great mismatch in duration of the liability and assets. This is a little bit tricky concept, mismatch in duration of the liability and asset. It means when there is increasing interest, then the present value of the liability and asset changes by different ratio. When there is a change in interest rate, the long-term asset or long-term liability has more impact by the same change in interest rate. So when the company has mismatch in duration of the liability and asset, there is a risk, especially when interest rate falls. The liability increases much faster than the asset. When asset has short duration, shorter than the liability. And then we have some other areas like flexible works. When a person is confirmed to have COVID virus, then the person is forced to stay at home or at the hospital. In that case, they should work at home or at the hospital or at any other facility. So we will have more interest on flexible works. As a professor, I should upload the video of lectures, but it doesn't matter whether I make a video at home or at office, at school, or at cafe or whatever. So the physical place doesn't matter for some works. So when the physical place doesn't matter, then we'll use more technologies. So people will be more flexible in choosing their place for their works. Call centers, we had big concerns about the call centers because there was a case, one call center member got the COVID, and then it spread very quickly among other members because call center is usually a small space with a lot of people compacted in small space. So the spreading was very quick. So now we think about the design of the call centers. Probably will change the call center designs. Probably we will consider distance between the among the members and working in that call centers. The accounting rules, it is related with the mismatch of asset and liability. It is caused by IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. IFRS requires that the asset and liability should be valued at the current interest rate. Then if interest rate changes by small amount, then the impact on asset and liability of insurance companies is great because they have a long-term maturity. Because they have a long-term maturity of liability, so they try to match the maturity of asset. So both the asset and liability have long-term duration, long-term maturity. So small change in interest have a great impact on their asset and liability valuation. And then another area is credit risk, because some businesses are hard hit, while others will find opportunity for growth. For example, one industry that are hard hit is airline industry, because almost airlines stopped. Traveling was banned. So the credit exposure increases with the airline companies, but the other companies enjoys boom in their business. And another volatility is in foreign exchange rate. In early this year, exchange rate, Korean currency depreciated sharply against the US dollar, but nowadays it is recovering. So many insurance companies invest in foreign asset. So even though they hedge it, the severe fluctuation in exchange rate may cause some cash flow problem. And then because people have cash flow problems, then they may surrender their insurance policies to collect cash. And then when they are short of cash, the first thing they do is to stop paying insurance premium. So higher lapse is expected. The final area is the claims. When claims are paid, the insurance policy finishes. The effect of or the promise of the claims stops. But when people do not go out, most people were reluctant to meet other people. So they stop going out for shopping. They stopped going out for meetings. So they do not use automobile. So automobile insurance claims declined. That was some good side of insurance business. caused by COVID-19. But people are going back to traditional lifestyle very quickly in Korea. So nowadays, automobile insurance claims are rising again to normal level. And the people were reluctant to go to hospitals, even though the hospitals were like cancer or diabetes, but still many people were reluctant to go to any hospital because they were afraid of contacting COVID through other people. So when people are reluctant to go to hospital, the medical expense declined. That is another good sign, another good side for insurance companies. But this is also getting back to a normal level very quickly. And medical expense reimbursement claims may rise. Yeah, when they were treated in hospital because of COVID-19, it will take some time to file claims. So in June, July, probably medical expense reimbursement claims may rise. In Korea, people with national health insurance and medical expense reimbursement products may have incentive to overuse medical service. So almost all people are covered with the national health insurance. And if they have additional medical expense reimbursement products, they are reimbursed. But there are some products pay fixed amount. So it doesn't depend on the actual expense. So when you are hospitalized for 1 day, then they pay a fixed amount, regardless of actual expense they spend. So in that case, if they have more than enough, then they can make money. They can collect more money than the expense. So in that case, they have incentive to stay at the hospital. So in that case, they stay longer than necessary. Then it's not good for anybody. But that's good for the insured because they can collect some additional amount, especially when they do not have jobs. That's a way of making money. There were some cases like taxi drivers. Taxi drivers, when they have a small accident, but they stayed at hospital for a long period because they don't have to work, and then they get paid. So to prevent that kind of overuse or misuse, deductible and co-insurance portion should be higher. Deductible means the amount that you have to pay before you file the claims. So if the expense is 1 million, you have to bear the first 100,000. That kind of amount is deductible. And then co-insurance means, okay, for the remaining coverage, if you pay 1 million, okay, you pay first 100,000, then 900,000 will be paid, but for that 900,000, you have to bear 10%. So you have to pay 90,000, and then 810,000 will be paid by the insurance company. That kind of scheme is co-insurance. So to reduce overuse of medical service, deductible and co-insurance should be well designed. But anyway, in areas of claims, we will see another trend, that is using automation, filing claims through internet or other online system, because these days people were reluctant to meet other people face to face, so they like to use online system, so they can file claims through internet directly to the insurance companies. That's a better way, and then it can save expenses for insurance companies as well. But that kind of trend will be accelerated because of COVID-19. There can be other issues, but automation and use of internet will be accelerated. That is one of the main trends in claims. But decline in automobile insurance, but it will pick up again very quickly. Hospital expense, but it decreased in the first few months, but it will pick up again. And then because of the COVID, the reimbursement claim may rise, and then overuse is always a concern. So we need some improvement in design of the insurance products to prevent overuse of medical service. That's what I prepared for the impact of COVID-19 on insurance industry. Thank you very much.